Hello my dear Libra, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between June 1st and June 15, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and show the love, okay? I have put astrological information for the month of June in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. The reading can go both ways. The message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person of the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. I have added a new deck to my general reading that I have used successfully for my private clients for long periods. The lovely INGRID I will continue using for the more spiritual mid-month readings. The new deck is the Druid Craft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Cargome, illustrated by Will Worthington, and I will start shuffling your cards. So, my dear Libras, when I open your deck here, I see Ace of Wands and Four of Swords, so very contradictory cards. Okay, Ace of Wands, it's power, it's like the second most powerful energy card in the whole deck, and Four of Swords is Libra, but in this card we can see it's a person kind of brooding, hesitating a little bit, and might not go with this energy. The energy might be like a longing, it might be a dream, it might be like a business opportunity. It's something new that's presenting itself in your life, or it might be a strong soul longing. It might be your soul calling you. It might also in some cases be aggression, and then it can be good things to kind of rise above and not get too dramatic, but watch out so you don't miss out on a valuable opportunity. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we have the Seven of Wands and Four of Swords. So it might be that you feel that it's not worth fighting for, or that the opposition, if you went with this longing or with this impulse or this suggestion, this sign, whatever it is, passion, would be too strong, that it is not worth it. It's like you don't want to throw yourself into something that is going to take a lot of effort, and you might also be met by resistance. But nothing is really worth having if you don't need to fight for it. So get up from your sitting position and start fighting for what you want. With the Seven of Wands, it can also be that you put boundaries both to yourself, your own longing, to the divine that kind of sent the longing in the first place, or to whatever people or new situation has come into your life. You might say, no, 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 I don't want this. Okay, and I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world. And here we have Eight of Pentacles with the Four of Swords. So, Eight of Pentacles. It's like you want to do a thorough, good work. Maybe you are scared that you are not the person for the position, that you are not good enough, so you're not going to do a good enough work. It might be that you feel that you are unworthy, or maybe it's not, it's like it's not my job, or it can be a number of different things, but mainly the Four of Swords is coming again and again. So it's you're staying in your comfort zone, that it's like something you have decided upon with your mind. So your body and your soul might want to throw themselves into this fight here, or this competition, or this struggle, or this quest, but your mind says no. Okay, so I call the six elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and here we have the Ferret, spirit and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Libra viewers. So the Ferret, it's the Alchemist card. 1 + 4 is also 5. It's connected to the Hierophant, kind of the library. So the Ferret is about being a scientist. It's Sagittarius, so it's very much the same energy, or the likeness of energy as the Ace of Wands. So it might be great attraction, like your dream job is wants to lure you in, or your spiritual quest, or it might be you are attracted by someone, or this longing and this dream. It's your spiritual quest, but you are like, nah, I don't want this. Okay, so okay. Shocker. Okay, so yes, and I want all this to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Libra viewers. I want my dear Libras to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So what I'm getting here is like you're living in a box. You're living by old rules. Like this worked for you before. This made you feel stable before, harmonious. But it's like harmony that's not true, because it's like you're avoiding things, and therefore you are able to keep your inner balance. But it's not that you have gotten so tough that you can go through whatever and feel happy anyway. It's like you're avoiding things, and then you feel not happy but not sad either. So it's like equilibrium, but kind of that creates a little bit like you're a little bit square, or won't go outside your comfort zone, or you're living by these rules you have set up for yourself, and well, it seems like it's limiting you and your soul. Okay, so I will tune in for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Libras, this is your future there, and this is your now there, and this is your past. So in the past we have the star card, so that's very beautiful. It's connected to the star's sun sign, of Aquarius, and it's about healing. It's also about kind of two peas in a pod. So you might have like a spiritual quest together with someone. It might also be that you have a very close connection with the spiritual world, like a really, really good intuition. And yes, it's also spiritual communication. So you might have a lot of inspirations coming through, a lot of ideas, a lot of like signs and symbols, and you might feel triggered to do something, or pushed to do something, or it can be easy things as no, don't choose that that label, take the other one, and you see you take a new label that you haven't been using before with some product, food or whatever, and you find out something new, something that's better for you, or have better vitamins or whatever. So small things, it can be small things, and it can be big things too. And it's the star, so it's kind of like, yeah, might indicate it's like a mark on you, why you came here. Okay, and here we have a 10 of Cups. So again, I'm feeling it's like not star-crossed lovers, but lovers that have a connection through the stars, or it might be very close family members, or you have met someone that kind of triggers your passion and your longing and your love, and you feel that there's a destiny behind why you met. It might also, as I said, be your kind of the reason to why you are here. Of course, love can be the reason to why you're here. It's often like this, but you can also have some creative endeavor or some other kind of target as also like your mission and something that you love to do. So if you really you have a hobby that you really love to do, and you don't dare to follow the suggestions of your soul to kind of make it into a work, maybe you should think again. Okay, it seems like you would love what you do. This is also the card for enlightened relationships. It can be also marriages. It can be like big family gatherings in harmony, and or your circle of your very, very best friends, and what can come out of that, like what kind of prosperity and windfall of beautiful things that can come from these kind of relationships or situations, if it's the creative situation. So May or past, and this is the first half of June 2018, and this is the future. So it's second part of June or going into July, and we have a 5 of Swords here. So 5 of Swords, 4 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 4 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so you have a little bit trouble with these social relationships or this greater calling. Some people, since you had the 4 of Swords, I interpret you as a little bit shy, a little bit maybe fragile. You don't want to be the victim of big challenges, but it's not like you are the victim. It's a spiritual quest. If your life would be a movie, then this would be like the intriguing red thread through the whole story. And if it wouldn't be there, the film wouldn't have any meaning. So it seems like you are maybe afraid of this great connection. Maybe you feel like you get out of control, or that people anyway won't love you, or it's again there's no meaning, and they will beat me, they will be better than me at this, or they will be angry with me, or I will become angry with them. We have the 4 of Wands here, so it's some kind of self-love, and it's also this stability with this star crossed love relationship, because it might be crossed, but it's not by the stars. It more seems like it's crossed by maybe Libra or someone. It doesn't have to be Libra, but since 4 of Swords is kind of the Libra card, I might be unjustly interpreting is as you, but okay, we can say that this is another person that refuses to they refuses to go with you, even though you know that this is why you came, this is the meaning of your life, this relationship, this is the one, and anyway they don't appreciate you, and they just become mad at you, and you feel maybe lonely, and you're trying to find some kind of foundation with self-love. So it can be like that, but everything you have on the outside, it's still mirrored from something on the inside. So if you feel like this because of someone else's, what they have done, you need to work through this. Maybe write down all these things that this procrastinating individual, situation, group of people, what they are doing towards you, and then write the story, but with you, but about you instead. So you just change it from them to me. I am doing this. So you will recognize the situation where you also are doing the same thing. And when you change, the world will change. It has a certain momentum, the things that we have created in our lives. But as soon as we start to change, the momentum for the future change. Okay. So this is your past, and we have the Sun card here. I try to remember what I had. It was the Star, yes, of course. So Star and Sun. So it's really like a soul made thing, or your soul is trying to express itself here. It wants to have more to say with the actions in your life. So kind of calling you to be more open, more vulnerable. Both these people are naked, open, vulnerable, truthful. This is about truth. Everything is illuminated, so you can see things clear as day. And it's also about warmth and generosity. Okay, and it's a white horse, so it's known feelings, and here you have also feelings being pawn. So the one that's the 4 of Swords is probably the one that's taking this little bit detour before they end up in the water. So kind of refusing, no, I'm hard as stone. I won't feel a thing. It doesn't matter if you are my soulmate or not. I won't acknowledge it. The Sun card can also be, it's usually Leo, because Leo is, this is the Leo's planet, but it can also be Gemini, because sometimes or rather often it's two twins being depicted in this card. And it's the third card for love in the major arcana, but it's kind of love between souls, or holy people, like people that has become healed. Okay, and here we have a princess of swords, so it can be you again, and this is truth, and this is truth. So page of swords is a little bit rebellious. She is a little bit more like judgmental than this child that's totally naked. So she is up for a fight, but sometimes she can be like a rebel without a cause, fighting against windmills or projections or things that's not really there. But both these cards are talking about truth and honor and being authentic, saying things as they really are, getting the word out there. Speak your truth even if your voice shakes. So use the bravery of this child to really speak your truth, even if it has bad consequences. If you have this strong of a longing to speak the truth, you need to do it anyway. And here we have the Ace of Pentacles. So if you do, or if you did, this is I'm doing this reading the 16th of May. So for some of you this will be happening now, and for others of you it will be actually be the past. So this is like a chance, like you had the chance to speak the truth and to create new opportunities for yourself, new beautiful opportunities, windfall of money, prosperity, relationship, whatever it was that was like offered here. It's just an embryo, it's just a door, but it's a door that you can choose to go through and thereby create beautiful adventures and beautiful things in your life. So taking chances, like with the Ace of Wands, but this is more it's more like given to you as a gift, because this is feminine, it's earth, so it's the earth element. The fire is masculine, so it's not particularly giving, but it's like a challenge that you do, and then there comes a reward afterwards. And here we have the Lord, the one that holds the wand, okay? So the one that kind of decides if they want to go along with this or not. So, and it's 4, so it's probably connected to the 4 of Swords, showing maybe that this Emperor wants to stay in power, maybe through 4 of Swords can be silent treatment, or having like a peace treaty. It's a good compromise, but sometimes no one of the different tribes or whatever it is that's in a conflict, neither of them get what they want, and that's what we saw with the 4 of Swords, the person being so grumpy. But here he seems more determined, he seems more healthy, he sits on a throne, he has the wand, the Ace of Wands in his hand, so it seems like it's like ready to go. We have the truth in position, it's a chance, we are going to take it, we have the determination, the courage, the wand, so the longing, and also the eagle there, so it's like we have the above perspective of this situation, so it looks very lucky. This can be Aries person as well, Aries or any other authority figure in your life, probably you. Okay, and here we have an Ace of Cups, so it seems like the Lord here, even if he's grumpy, so it can be like another person in your life that maybe you have tell them the truth or really try to communicate with them, but they came out as the 4 of Swords, like a person not reacting to this, but it seems like they are on board anyway, like even with the 4 of Swords there, and this a little bit procrastination and not really saying what you really mean. So this person said what they really meant, and this person probably got the message and loved it, but might have had hard time to put words on it since we saw the 4 of Swords. So these people are probably understanding each other, but it's only this person that knows it. This person doesn't probably know it, okay? Because this person haven't told them that they know, okay? With the 4 of Swords, that's, as I said, it's silence, it's like digesting, it's procrastination, It's healing as well. Maybe we have a hard time opening up and being vulnerable if we are used to be in a power position or used to be cool and macho. So some of you, it might be dealing with the masculine side of you, both the masculine side inside of you, either you are a female or a male, and the masculine side, how it's being presented on the outside world, inside a female or a male. It's just masculinity. It's about taking charge, deciding the course, also being very stubborn, like, no, I won't do that. So it can be very like determination. So we have both Ace of Cups and the Star card. So I'm thinking it's very deep love or very great intuition. Okay, so it's beautiful. And here we have the Now, and then we have a Ten of Swords, and it comes underneath the Sun. So I'm guessing, since it was only one person getting, it's only one person knowing that these people agreed, the other person that doesn't know that they agreed is kind of losing hope here. So with the Ten of Swords, is a person says, okay, this is dead, this was a no-go, my father didn't listen to me, even he loves you a great deal, but he didn't listen to me, so I give up. Okay, he didn't hear my voice, he didn't your masculine archetype inside of you didn't hear the truth that your inner child, because this is children in both these cards, were saying. But he did. I can say that he did, but he probably kept it a secret. And because it was a secret, there became like great misunderstandings. Because if only one person communicates, then only one person is being communicated to. And if that person doesn't communicate back, then it's a no-go. Okay. So Ten of Swords, it's like minor arcana death. Something might have broken down, like maybe a relationship or an opportunity here with the aces. Like if it wasn't taken, if the person just enjoyed the windfall of love here that came with this truth, or might be someone that has courted you, maybe in a little bit childish way, but courted you anyway, or tried to communicate with you. And you didn't take it, or you have tried to communicate with someone that kind of enjoyed being communicated to or flirted to, or maybe you were applying to work and they thought, oh God, we got this applicant, they seem really good, but they never told you, so you kind of gave up on that job, relationship, or whatever it was. You just like, okay, so they didn't want me. And here we have the Four of Cups, and it comes underneath Princess of Swords. So this kind of energy is of course contagious, and when we are not when we try to communicate our truth and we don't get communication back, we can become very sad. This is Four of Cups, so it's kind of the same energy as the Four of Swords. It's just that now we acknowledge that we are sad. In the Four of Swords, we didn't acknowledge that. We just acknowledged that we thought that the other person was stupid, or they were not worth talking to. It wasn't worth us telling our truth or showing vulnerability, because nothing came of it anyway. But here with the Four of Cups, we are kind of a little bit disappointed, or we don't see the gift in this situation, because it might have been, even if this person was stubborn and didn't want to, you know, step down from their high horses, or maybe they had high demands on you, they were still doing it from a place of love. So it wasn't like a person being I'm just hearing stupid words in my head, like no, I won't even tell it. Okay, jackass. But so even if they acted like a jackass, they didn't meant it. It was just how you took it, because there was probably some kind of problems here where the communication has halted. And here in the central we have an Eight of Wands, and 8 is the Strength card. It's connected to the Strength card, Major Arcana Strength card, and that's again connected to Leo. So it's talking about strength, it's talking about courage, it's talking about truth, it's talking about truthful communication, it's talking about message exchange, it's talking about travels also, or making misunderstandings into understandings by communication. So it seems like communication has been the big lack in this situation. Probably people understood each other perfectly. They just didn't communicate this to one another, and therefore the situation went down the drain. Okay, but this person were happy with the communication, okay, or whatever came through here. So a child coming and showing their painting, and the father was like, oh, this was really wonderful. Maybe he forgot to tell. I'm trying to show you like a simple picture so you will understand what kind of situation this might be. And then this person painting the painting just gave up and say, okay, so I will never ever show you my pictures again. But here it's like still some use left into this situation. So it's still some spiritual energy or soul energy, or the mission is still on, or there's still a longing for communication. And here we have an 8 of Swords, so that's non-communication, okay? So, okay. Communication, non-communication. So it's still like this, that this person wants to communicate, this person can probably not communicate. It's different ways of doing things. 8 is how we try to perfect ourselves. We try to be the better version of ourselves. So with 8 of Swords, for example, we are trying to listen to others, and thereby we are limiting ourselves, because when we listen too much to others, there's so many others, okay? If you listen to 10 other people and their opinion of how you should be, or what you should do, or what you should wear, or where you should aim your energy, or who you would love or who you shouldn't love, or yeah, you will drive yourself crazy, okay? So I'm thinking the Lord has like a reputation to uphold. He's very like that. He likes to have subordinate people around him. So and they are subordinate for a reason, because he's so darn good, okay? And why he's so darn good is because he's following the rules and listening to the opinions of the people. But he's becoming like very limited in his expression. Okay, a macho man, he can't talk, he can't show feelings, he can't express himself, so he follows the society's rules. So it's one way to try to do the best you can by following everyone's rules, even if it will drive you crazy. It might make you a little bit like you have a longing inside of you, but you need to do something else because this is what's required of you. So you're not really free, you're a prisoner, you're a slave, even if you're an emperor. And with the 8 of Wands, we try to follow our soul's longing. So we try to follow the inspiration from our soul, and we do the best we can with that. We are brave, we take the jump, we take the opportunity, we communicate ourselves, we tell exactly what we feel. So we try our best to apply ourselves and to show maybe also humbleness, like look at me, this is who I am, this is who I truly am. So it's like making yourself less scary also for other people when you communicate yourself very well. And wants to solve conflict, wants to say I'm sorry. It's not a problem. It's not a problem to say that you're sorry. It's easy. Okay, so with this card. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles. So that's when you try to put a lot of work, apply yourself to the situation, do the best you can, really perfect your manifestation skills here on earth. Also with like working in groups, but also working on projects. And then we have the the 8 of Cups, and that's what kind of when nothing of this helped and you are so sick and tired and you just leave the crap behind and walk away. So that's also a way, and it's also goes in circles. You go through all these phases again and again and again, and it usually ends with the 8 of Cups. But the 8 of Cups is like a boomerang card, so person leaves but they will come back around, and when they have calmed themselves down and see that maybe it wasn't only the other person's fault, or maybe I also had something to do with this, and they are trying again. So 8s are about trying again. So we have 2 trying again cards, and it's about karma as well. Something wants to be solved, something needs to be resolved. Okay. And here we have also the Six of Cups coming underneath the Ace of Cups. So it might be a reunion wants to happen, even though the Eight of Swords is here. So the Emperor can't do it because it would be beneath him. He has his power position to think about, so he can't, he's too stubborn to ever try to communicate. Okay, so then he will probably not be able to reconcile either, but it's a very stubborn approach, and it can be for a reason, of course. If this can be a girl or a boy that didn't believe this first person and said, well, I don't believe in you, I love you, but I don't believe in you, so I'm not going to try anymore because I tried so much before. It can be like this as well. But here it shows a very deep love, like deep from the source. It's not going to go anywhere. So it's better if people can solve the situation and talk things through and get down from their high horses and stop being so darn afraid and you know, just solve it. It's childhood problem, so it's kind of a little bit childish, this what's going on also, at least from one end. And with childish I mean like a person that have learned, for example, the Lord here has learned that if I'm always like really cool or not communicative, I get a lot of benefits from that, because then the other person jumps through hoops to make me happy and to try to make me communicate, and then I feel like, yes, this Emperor, and I'm elevated and people love me, and so I feel I get the love. But they are getting the love in an unjust manner by making the other person jump through hoops. So that can be, with the Six of Cups, it's childhood, and the Ten of Swords is usually like our survival skills, and they don't work anymore. So it's like the survival skills that you learned, you or the other person or both were learning in the past, maybe in your childhood, doesn't work anymore. So the Lord might try to get like advantages by acting in a certain way that's kind of outdated. It's not modern anymore. So and he doesn't know it, so he just continue trying the same old, and it's not working. So it's like this endless disappointment, and this person is more fresh and new and more in tune with their self, but they also get very, very disappointed with the Emperor's action. So they have lost a lot of their mojo to try again here. But yet the Eight of Wands is there, so there's something really strong pulling this people, this situation together, because this might be a company as well, maybe need your resources but can't admit to it, for example. So Ten of Cups, Six of Cups, it's like your family. You belong together, this company and you, or these two star-crossed lovers. But the only reason to why they are star-crossed is because one person still lives in a very patriarchal society. Like I don't have to apply myself. I don't have to make an effort to make this relationship work. It's up to you. You are supposed to fix that. You are supposed to pamper me. You are supposed to give me a lot of attention. So where's my attention? I have done everything in the book to be like the honey here for all the flies to come. And where's my flies? So, and they don't come because the book was outdated. Okay. So it's sweet, but it's confusing. Okay, both people have the best intentions, but they are like a little bit unsimilar in the way that they approach things. One approach things like a child that tries to make their best effort in front of their parents to get the parents' attention and approval, and the other person has kind of taken the parents' role but become like, yeah, in a power position that's taking advantage of others like slaves, and thereby becoming a slave themselves. So it's not a good thing. Okay. And here we have a King of Wands, so we have a lot of power people in this reading, but I guess that the person here that tried to apply themselves and try to speak honestly and be very, very vulnerable, they kind of died there, and what was born was another emperor. So now we have two emperors. This is the King of Wands. It's like the King of Kings. It's like Richard Lionheart or someone of these fairy tale kings that had this kind of mystical power, because the King of Wands is a creator, is a person having very close relationship with their soul. You can see on his posture, he's still open for business. He has his shield here, so it's shielding him, but it's very relaxed. His pose is also, what I said, is curious, open. He has the wand now, exactly as the Lord. So he's not going to budge. The Lord is not going to budge. No one's budging here. Okay. So next card is the Three of Cups. So Princess of Swords, Four of Cups. This was a little bit hard to interpret, but I'm guessing that the Prince of Swords here have found like a crowd that's more to her taste, him or her taste, like people that, because this is the Three of Cups, so it's Holy Trinity. It's people, it's like when you get together with your female cousins and you yibber jabber about things, and it's like this warm feeling, and you have known each other since you were kids, or like these mates hanging around with a table calling each other brother. So it's very homey kind of feeling. It's like maybe this person found like a new crowd or a new soul group to hang out with. It's the best interpretation I can make of this. It's a little bit, Three of Cups is a very beautiful card. As I said, it's overflowing love from the source. So it's much like the Ace of Cups. It just tripled, because you are not feeling it just from your source. It's from three different sources joined together. When it's badly situated, it can be a three-party relationship or betrayal and so on. But why this card has got such a bad rumor, it's because this is so valuable. This is what every person wants. They want this feeling of belonging. So it's like the King of Wands is also his aim is to be a friend and join with friends and have happy, harmonious relationship in equality, which the Emperor kind of said that he or she didn't want, because they have put themselves in this power position. And you can see here that both of these, this might be most indicated as being the Libra, but we have Swords card both underneath this side and this side, and the 4 and the 4. So it can go both ways. This it's the same energy, it's the same story. It's just the different roles are casted in different ways. So sometimes this role will be casted as a Libra, and sometimes this role will be casted like a Libra. So, and we have mostly fire. So it's Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, and we have a lot of water as well, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, not so much Earth. We have an Ace of Pentacles there, and Aquarius. This is usually Gemini. This is also Gemini, and well, yes, okay. So next card is Strength. So it's Leo again, and she has another variant of the 8 symbol on her arm. It's a spiral, and it's talking about this karmic situation over and over again, and the stubbornness, and the stubbornness comes now from both these sides, both this person and this person, this wild boar. They are very stubborn, and they are very determined, and can be also easily panicked, and then going like in one direction and one direction only. Nothing can really stop that direction. But we see on this person here, they are not in panic. So this is a person that sees a chance and an opportunity, and is probably brave enough to take it and have determination enough to pull through. So it seems rather friendly with this King of Wands, Three of Cups, Strength card. It's like the bigger person. It's like a warm embrace, like a person that you can trust. They have good probably very good intentions. Sometimes with the King of Wands and the Strength card, if I were doing reversals and they would have come in reversed all this, it might be a person liking warmth and passion a little bit too much with a little bit too many people. But it's not really indicated here. It's more like, yes, the person got very disappointed, but they are strong and resilient, and still they have the same outlook as they probably had here, warmth and love and truth. And now it's more warmth and love and not so much truth. Maybe it's more like I don't have to fight for truth because now I express truth. Here it's like a chance, you have had a chance to express your truth, and it made you much stronger. So when a person kind of loves themselves and no longer questions themselves, they get very strong. They get also very passionate about things, and they get very resilient, and also have a great sense of humor, and not so much also being able to have a lot of energy to creations and social activities and things like this. So it seems very healthy, Libra. Okay. So next card is a Princess of Wands. So now we see that the child comes from the Lord. So it might be that due to this breakdown that we have here, this person tried to communicate. The Lord was lovingly friendly but not open for communication. The situation broke down, but the love was still there. The longing was still there. And here it's like the roles have been a little bit turned, because this person took in the masculine energy of the Lord and became like, okay, so I don't control your life. If you don't want to communicate, you don't have to communicate. And they just like peace on earth. Okay, so like with the Four of Swords. Maybe there couldn't be any like there couldn't be any communication or agreement, but there could be an agreement of disagreeing, and so there's no like stuck feeling of resentment or anything here. And now this person comes as the child. Here we have the child before, and now we have the child here. And so it's like this person position of taking leadership and not being like a dramatic child anymore, asking for father's approval, but becoming the father themselves, and thereby becoming grown up, was making it able for the Lord to take forward their inner child that wasn't allowed or approved of, because they had to follow so many rules. Okay, so now comes the true soul from the Emperor forward. So the Emperor was here to protect the inner child, but really has suffocated it. It's like she was a prisoner, and now she's free. So I think this whole drama here has actually freed both people. This person didn't have to be a helpless child anymore, become like an own authority, like, okay, so I control my life, you control your lives, I take care of my thing here, and I don't have a grudge. So this happened and I accept it. And this person sees that the communication needs to be there, so therefore comes a message through here. Prince of Swords, Eight of Wands, Princess of Wands. So some of you might be in a fire, air kind of situation. It might be a twin flame situation, since it comes to children like this. And now it's time for communication, okay, for stepping down from the throne and greeting the other person now like an equal. You see, they are equals here, and they are equals here. So both of them have now access to their inner child and self-love thereby, and both of them have access to being their own authority, protecting their inner child. Okay, so that's very harmonious, that's very healthy. So that's great. Okay, and here we have a Prince of Swords. So Prince of Swords comes underneath Ace of Cups and Six of Cups. So it seems like air sign. This is usually Gemini, but might of course be you, or if you are dealing with an air sign or a person, it can be the Lord also becoming like this air sign. And with the Princess of Wands here and Prince of Swords, it's probably going to be some kind of communication, but it might be here with the Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. It's like the if this is the Lord, he hasn't really he hasn't really stepped through the door just yet. Okay, he's still full of these rules, but he's trying to open his heart and make things better. So it's like a second chance, even though it might be presented as kind of the same person coming back again, doing the same communication, like in a not so very enlightened way. So you might, if you're waiting for communication and it comes through, you might not be particularly super happy, because it might be a little bit piercing. We see the person is in an attack pose and with their shield, while this person isn't. Well, they might be ready for whatever, but they are not scared and like in a battle position. So this might come like a flash from nowhere. Maybe the person here kind of feels like you still have a grudge and there's still things that need to be sorted out. Maybe they are a little bit angry, but really the love is in the bottom here. It's just like these shoulds and shouldn'ts, these rules that this person lives by. But mostly it's a lot of passion and a lot of it's this soul connection. So it's like bzz, bzz, bzz. It's very strong passion here. Okay, and the Five of Swords. So it might end in or come out as some kind of battle, but really it's this person's way of trying to communicate. So you need to, and they do it with love. They were like clumsy here, and therefore the situation broke down, and they are still clumsy with how to deal with it. They love the person, they want to communicate, but they can't. And here they decide to communicate, but then they will do it out of a position of fear. So they might come and, well, you still have my clothes or something like that. So it's not going to be from the more grown-up perspective. If this person were to reach out, they would say probably, I missed you. We had such a great time together, and I still feel the passion. While this person will communicate from the same childish perspective that this person might have done earlier. Even if they told the truth, it might have been from a childish perspective, and here it comes from a little bit aggressive childish perspective. Okay, I hope you get what I'm saying, but I'm going to read the Eight of Wands for you. It's the central card of this reading, so it kind of affects everything. It's the main issue of this reading, and you have a lot of eights, 888, so Lion's Gate. Oh, okay, so you have either achieved your goal or are moving swiftly towards its accomplishment. You may well be experiencing a time in your life when so much is going on, it can seem hard to slow down enough to take stock of what's actually happening. You may hear exciting news or take a journey, or you might find yourself falling in love or swept off your feet in other ways by being excited about a new project or an idea, for example, and throwing your energy and enthusiasm into it. There's a quality of efficiency and orderliness to the spread of events, success or movement suggested by this card, which means that it might indicate your involvement in streamlining your life or your business. Synchronicity and serendipity may abound, or rapid communication or negotiation could be occurring. While generally a very positive card to receive, it does sound a few notes of caution. When getting carried away by an idea or by your feelings for someone, be careful that it's not just an infatuation. And as you experience the events and the times signified by this card, beware of going too fast. Try to sense the natural flow of rhythm and attune yourself to it, even if the excitement may make this difficult. So the last sentences was kind of not really aimed for Libras because you're already like stuck with the red light. So in matters of the heart, this may signal the end of an infatuation or loving relationship. No, it's a reverse meaning. So sorry. So if it would come like this, and it might have come like this if I would have shuffle the cards differently in this kind of situation, because we see a breakdown in so many levels here, but not with the Eight of Wands and the Six of Cups. It's kind of the Lord doesn't change his mind. It's just the person on the outside that changed. They want something new. They are developing with the sun and the star here. So they are walking with the divine here. And the Lord is walking with the patriarchy and the society and what mommy and daddy taught me once. So he's not really to blame here, because this person and divine changed the rules. And the old rules was working fine in the from the Lord's perspective. So it was like maybe a shock that the rules changed. And so for this person, nothing really changed. It's just that he couldn't, since he were bound by this rule. I'm saying he because it's a he, but as I told you, it can as easily be a she. He was all bound by the rules that he already lived by. And it's first when he can do the same kind of spiritual journey that this person once did, that he can actually express what he really feels. So if you're waiting for someone that's a little bit stubborn to communicate, this might happen, but the person might be like, well, you were the one that changed, or you were the one that changed. It doesn't matter, okay? It can be boy or girl. So bring it into form. Sacred Rebels Oracles with Alana Fairchild. So bring it into form. It came for some other sign as well. Maybe it was Capricorn. Some of them I have done up till now. 41. I got 14 instead. That wasn't right. 41 there. Okay. Beautiful dreamer. You can imagine wonderful worlds of light. You can dream up so many possibilities. Now it's the time to bring those possibilities of light into the world. They need to be more than ideas. They need to live, to manifest. The world needs not only your dreams, beautiful as they are, but also your creations. Get thee to thy desk, thy easel, thy computer. Work, beautiful dreamer. Don't just dream, create. You are being asked to honor yourself with a commitment to complete your inspired task. This will help you to grow, and that is a wonderful reason to commit. But there is another reason too. You know that that your inspired ideas are worth translating into practical forms, so that other people can access them and experience something special too. If you have been thinking about writing a book, painting a picture, or acting on an inspiration or an idea, then this oracle is bringing you a vocal yes, do it now. Don't dally or ditter about the details or worry about how it's all going to work out. The universe loves a bold spirit. Once you take a step, it will rush towards you like an enthusiastic and chivalrous lover, opening doors, hand gently guiding at your lower back as you are moved forward. You will promptly be provided with all that it's needed to take this next step. There is a sacrifice inherent in translating the perfection of an idea into the limited physical form. Although something may be lost when turning a multi-dimensional concept of endless potential into something concrete, this oracle guides you to realize that there is much more to be gained. You must become free of this inspiration so that you can receive your next inspiration. It's already waiting for you. So on you must go. This oracle also confirms that the information you need to translate your ideas into form will be provided according to the higher wisdom of your life. It may or may not happen by traditional routes, even if it seems unimaginable. When it is time for something to be born into form, nothing can stop it. It will happen. And this is kind of what we see here. So it's a very creative row. Even if the Prince of Swords on this particular card seems a little bit aggressive, the Gemini energy is very visionary. It can see things from a multiple different angles. They can see it from the Lord's perspective and from the King of Wands perspective and from everyone's perspective, and make a creative solution. So there's brain power enough to solve whatever comes along here if we don't see the warrior aspect of this card. Okay. So, my dear Libras, I hope this helped, and it seems like here you're like shooting this arrow and there you are running, so it seems like you're on the move. So okay, I hope this helped. Thank you for liking, watching, subscribing to my videos, and also I welcome you back to my mid-month June reading that I will perform in the beginning of June. Okay, bye bye.